Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. I hope everybody's well. Looking forward to chatting. Robert, oh, you're always the first one on, which is rather exciting. Thank you for being there and thank you for your support. It's always very important. I've got lots to say tonight. And I'm reading books again. So I want to know what books you're reading. I was going to ask that a bit later on, but what books are you reading? Should we all be reading them? Are they interesting? Let me know. But anybody that's out there, please let me know who you are. Say hello, because I do like to know who I'm talking to, and it's always exciting to know that there are people there. Cat Flatley. From Niagara Falls again. Do you know, I've told so many people about that story about me seeing Superman flying over the falls. Anyway, Rob Jones, lovely to see you again. Thank you, Rob, and thank you, Kat and Robert. So it is exciting to know that people are interested in listening to what I've got to say. Sometimes I look back on this and think, oh my gosh, what on earth was that all about? Christy Lovegrove from Sydney, lovely to see you as well. I'm not sure if I've seen you before, so that's nice that you're a new one. Mel, seen you before, which is rather exciting. So what have I got to talk about today? Don't forget names for healing. This is really, really important. And any questions that you have, and I will try my best to answer them. Gail Woodford, lovely to see you, Gail. I know you from a long way back, and I've just suddenly realised that. So anyway, yes, it is awesome because I've been talking about you. So you're famous in my little neck of the woods, which is lovely. Now, I think I talked to you last week about this beautiful book that I'm reading by Julia Baird. I've read her books before, and she's a very interesting writer. She's very intelligent. She was a journalist, so she writes in, for me, a very in-depth way. But the more I listen to her work, the more I'm absolutely loving it. But this particular book, my daughter bought me, and it's called Bright Shining, How Grace Changes Everything. And she tries at the beginning of the book to identify what grace means, and it's a very difficult word to give a meaning to. Anyway, let's talk about it. So when I was listening to it yesterday, so I do audiobooks, and yesterday I traveled up to the Blue Mountains, one to see my lovely friend Bella, because it was her birthday a little while ago and I had a present. And she is going to the UK a week today. So I thought I need to get up there. But also I was working at Springwood Spiritual Church. Now, it's really, really lovely because Springwood, I moved there, oh my gosh, I'm trying to think when it was, but it was when I first came to Sydney. I lived around the corner from the Spiritualist Church, and it was so lovely because they took me in, they looked after me, they became my friends, and they still are, and they treat me so well. And the excitement when I go to their church, it's only a little church, but when you go there, the love that's shared is just incredible. And I've just had a message from Diane saying she's had lots of messages today from people saying what a wonderful service, and people leaving yesterday were saying at the end of the service, not before the end of the service, but they were leaving at the end of the service saying, they were new, a couple of them, and they really look forward to coming again. So well done, Springwood Spiritualist Church. I had a mental blank then, but well done to the church and Diane and all the team that now are running it as well. It's one of those places that you know that you're going to walk in and feel really, really loved. So I was last week at Central Coast Church, and it was exactly the same. So I just love it when you've got certain churches where you feel really, really comfortable. I'm just laughing here. Hello, Andrea, my spiritual sister and family. And glad I remembered that one. Yep, Kat. Karen Bullitt, I saw your name today, funnily enough, and I can't remember why. But anyway, hello. Eva from Sweden, how lovely to see you again. Luke Adams is now Grizzly Adams. And isn't that funny, Luke? I didn't realize when I said that to you because your surname is the same. So Luke has just bought himself a plot of land up in the middle of nowhere, and he's doing all sorts of, bare and basic things. And I likened him to Grizzly Adams today. So, and if anybody saw him, he was a big, hunky, guy that sort of wandered around in the wilderness. Okay, looking forward to catching up with me when you're free. Now, that's going to be an interesting one, Robert, because my diary is looking stupidly crazy. Mona, Ellie, lovely to see you as well. But Robert, I will try my best. And you'll realize when I talk to you, or when I talk through this in a minute, why, because I've made a bit of a mistake. Anyway, let's talk about this book because this is important. What I was interested in was she talks about, and I can't remember the name of the chappie. I wonder if I can find it quickly. I can't, and I don't want to stop doing that. And he did a lot of investigating. Oh, it's terrible that I can't find his name, and I didn't even think to write it down. That's really naughty of me. No, it's not jumping out at me. But this chap, anyway, and I'll find the name and I'll let you know because the book is great. He did an experiment and he weighed, I know this sounds really morbid, but he weighed people before they died, just before they died, and he weighed people after they died. And apparently there was 21.3 grams difference. So he said that the soul actually weighed 21.3 grams. Now, he did the same experiment with animals, and apparently theirs didn't change. So he said animals don't have souls, which I think is terrible because I know for a fact that animals have soul. I've got a lovely friend, Psychic Beth, and she is a pet communicator, and she's now just started with her own TV program and written books and on the TV doing live shows all the time, and she talks to them all the time. I've actually worked alongside of her, and it is incredible the information that she brings through. So I'm going to beg to differ on that one, but isn't it interesting that 21.3 grams is the guesstimated weight of a human soul. So this is honestly, there's some really interesting facts in this book. But it's also interesting because there was a bit in there which said about regrets of the dying. Now, I want to read you this because it's interesting. I always say about do the best you can and be the best you can and do as much as you can. But they interviewed again. Again, the name of the person eludes me. I'm really bad by doing that. I'm sorry, but anyway, it's in the book. So you need to read the book. Yeah, Kat said she actually has heard of that. So yeah, it is pretty neat. I didn't really know. Robert said he doesn't mind waiting to see me. That's really lovely of you, Robert. But listen to these things here. There's only a few of them, but I want to read them out to you. So the regrets of the dying. I wished I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life that others expected of me. It's easy to see how many dreams have gone unfulfilled. It's interesting, isn't it? I wish I hadn't worked so hard. Gosh, I think we all say that now. All of the men I nursed, so a nurse obviously, deeply regretted spending so much time, so much of their lives on the treadmill of work existence. Again, interesting. I wished I'd had the courage to express my feelings. Many people suppress their feelings in order to keep peace with others and never became who they were truly capable of becoming. Now, that's interesting for me because of late I have, it sounds like I'm a horrible person, but I've decided that if you are not nice to me, you're gone. If you don't serve my purpose. Now that sounds really rude and I don't mean it to sound rude, but if it's upsetting me or causing me grief or anguish, you're going. So hello Tina from England. Yes, so you lot are all still here, so I'm still talking to you, so you're okay. But It's true, and I think I said this last week. I've reached the grand old age of 69, and I don't know how much time I've got left. But while I'm here, I want to make sure that time is spent wisely with people who I want to be with. So another one says, I wished I'd stayed in touch with my friends. Everyone misses their friends when they're dying. That's very true. Sometimes, again, we become so busy that we forget to ring people. And today I did an exercise, actually. I was on, I can't remember, I think it was Messenger. And at the top of Messenger, there's all these people. And I thought, oh, I haven't spoken to them for ages, or them, or them, or them. And I messaged everybody. And it was absolutely lovely to get the messages back from people. And I wish that I'd let myself be happier. When you are on your deathbed, what others think of you is a long way from your mind. So I absolutely loved that. I thought that was incredible. So so the other thing in here, and again, I want to read it to you because it's interesting. So who have we got here? We got some new people that have joined us, which is lovely. So Tina, I said hello to you, long-standing friend, and I'll never forget you. You're just an absolute darling. Joanne Phillips, lovely to see you. Vanessa, wonderful. From Victoria, Ian from England, hello. I was looking at our plans to come for your birthday party. That's exciting. Fiona Rogerson, hello. Kat, I've cut almost everybody out of my life this year. Oh dear, Miss Norma No Mates, I love it. I have a few good ones around me, and that's all I need. Got rid of those who brought me down. Absolutely, absolutely. We do not need people who are going to bring us down, make us feel sad, make us unhappy, or any of those things. So let's take a leaf out of this. What things that people regret when they're dying. Simone says, morning, Dad. And hello to you as well, Simone. And congratulations on a brilliant church service that you did last week at Brett's church. Jill Charland, oh my gosh, you go back a long way. Actually, Jill, I think I met you when I was a gypsy on the green, raising money, not earning money, but raising money for the millennium. So it was the year 2000. And we were raising money for a new stained glass window at the church. And I dressed up as a witch, not a witch, a gypsy. Yeah, I'm a witch as well, but dressed up as a gypsy on the green. And I had a tent and it was all decorated. And I had a so-called crystal ball, and I put K-pop in this thing. I've still got that, actually. But I'm sure that's where we actually first met or crossed paths. So it's really lovely. That's a long time ago, obviously. Adam Henderson, good to see you doing so well. Congratulations on the new relationship. Tracy Affleck, I hope you're well. Sending out lots of healing. Don't forget healing names. If you want healing, you need to let me know, and I will put you in my book. Jenny Palmer, I hope you're better. Mel from the Southern Highlands. Yeah, that's really good. Robert said he feels the same way. Life is too short to bother with those who don't respect you. Absolutely. Yeah, hiya, Simone. And Ian's just said hiya to you as well, Simone. Tracy's feeling much better. Well, that's really, really good. I'm really happy about that. Now, listen, you're all interrupting me, so stop it. But there was another bit in this book, and there is a lady who was greeted by a friend, and she said, oh, it's something along the lines, oh, it's nice to see that you're just a nurse. That makes me smart. Anyway, I'll tell you about that in a second. But it's interesting because in the book she talks about I'm just a nurse, obviously. I've helped babies into the world, many of whom needed assistance to take their first breath, and yet I'm just a nurse. I have held patients' hands and ensured their dignity while they take their last breath, and yet I'm just a nurse. I have counseled grieving parents after the loss of a child, yet I'm just a nurse. I have performed CPR on patients and brought them back to life, and yet I'm just a nurse. I can isolate every lung. I can oscillate every lung field on a newborn and assess which field may have a decreased air entry, and yet I'm just a nurse. Simone, you'll understand this, I'm sure. I can educate patients, carers, junior nurses, and junior doctors on disease states, prognosis and treatment plans, and yet I'm just a nurse. And it just goes on, and there's one after the other after the other. So yeah, and it says at the end, I have the experience, knowledge, and competence that saved and will continue to save people's lives, and yet I'm just a nurse. So yes, lovely acquaintance in the corner store. I am just a nurse. Uh, then I am ridiculously proud to be one. And it made me think about exactly, Luke. Nobody is just. And it's interesting because not that long ago, I was told you're just a medium. And I was not a happy bunny, I can tell you, because I'm not just a medium. Yeah, so somebody saved you in the hospital, Fiona, and they're everything. But yeah, somebody said to me, you're just a medium. And I'm not just a medium, because besides being a medium, I had a life before that. So I'm a qualified teacher. I run my own business apart from what I'm doing, and I was very successful at it. I can mix and talk to, all the highest of the high and the lowest of the low. And I've done so much, but I had to think about me as just a medium. And as a medium, I comfort the sick and the bereaved, and I'm there for people on demand, and including 4 a.m. in the morning. I had one client when I was in the UK, and oh my goodness me, she used to ring me at 4 o'clock in the morning, more fool me for answering the phone. But I honestly thought that she was in trouble and that she needed help. But all I got was abuse, and I mean abuse. So I ended up calling the police on this lady. It was just awful. I also got abusive letters in the post. I travel extensively. Anybody that knows me knows that. I mean, now I've got Shirley Valentine, my beautiful van. I just jump in and go. And hello, Claire. And I'm going over to the UK, but I'm traveling extensively throughout Australia. And I've just been invited to America, and those plans are hot footing it onto pieces of paper at the moment. So I'm also expected by certain people to do this job for nothing. How do I put food in my mouth? How do I pay my bills? So, when you're just a medium, you're like everybody else. You have to do the normal everyday things. So what people come to you and they ask you questions. What's going to happen to me? Am I going to win the lottery? Am I going to meet a tall, dark, handsome stranger? Am I going to sell my house? Am I going to get a new job? So those are the sorts of people. That's more of a psychic reading, and those are the sorts of people that I sort of veer away from, because for me, being a medium is about connecting to loved one and bringing that loved one through. So, and then you get the ones who say, I want to talk to, and they name that person. You can't. So it's like you can't demand from me to do you a mediumship reading, and you can't demand your loved ones from the spirit world to come through, because they're probably up there going, God, I'm not going to come and talk to her. She's a, really demanding sort of, anyway, whatever. And they say, well, what was my nickname? What did he call me? His pet name for me? We're expected to have all of the answers, and we don't have all of the answers, because at the end of the day, we're just human, like the nurse. We're just doing a job like the nurse. We're just trying to do the best we can, exactly the same, and just trying to hold on, we have a troll. Latona, you're going to have to leave, please, because we do not want you on here. Okay. Okay, she's been blocked. Latoya Bianca Trina is a troll, so she's been blocked. So ignore her messages, please. Tracy, as a nurse, you understand that. And the same with music. The same with music, yeah. You're expected to sing on demand. You're expected to sing the songs we want, and it's really hard. By the way, Tracy Affleck is the most amazing jazz singer. I've loved listening to her sing in person. Mark Bucknell, lovely to see you as well. I've got rid of her. Kat was brought back also, was born diseased. My mother thinks it was her mum, her nana, who sent me back through. That is a lovely story. So, and it's really nice because again, I was reading something about near-death experiences, and I think that was in the Battling Bertha book, which I'll talk about again in a minute. I actually said to you last week, I haven't read the book, and I've been frantically reading it. It is so incredible. This woman was amazing. Anyway, at 3, I went to my uncle's and pointed at a photograph and said, "That's my nana." My mother was shocked and asked me how I knew. And I replied, "She's the lady in the blue dress." And turns out she was buried in a blue dress. And she's the lady that helped Kat to come back into this world. So, Luke, evidence of the continuation of the consciousness is most important. Absolutely, it is. You had a great experience when I first met you, Luke, and I'll never forget that. That was really, really good. Anyway, so we are none of us just our title. Because again, I'll say this, and I say this all the time, unless you've walked in my shoes 1,000 miles, you've got no idea what goes on in my life, what sort of person I am, why I've discarded people. I'm sure, people around me here are going, "Oh, she's a really rotten person. She's kicked that person out of her life and kicked that person out of their life." So don't judge me, anybody, because you don't know anything about the circumstances that go behind that. So I am not just a medium. And I actually, I got quite angry today when I thought about the abuse that I've put up with over the years. And it really is horrible. And again, I'm doing a job. I think I do a good job from the responses I get from people. I'm doing a good job. But as I said, we don't have all the answers because spirit don't want to give you all the answers sometimes. It's just simple. Thank you, Mel. We don't always get what the sitter wants or what the person who comes for a reading wants. And there could be various reasons for that. It could be that Mario, hello. There could be, the sitter is demanding. It could be that you're not on full par today. It could be that you're in a funny situation because it doesn't feel comfortable to do the reading. It could be all sorts of things. I know that I've done readings and thought, oh, that was a bit off. And then I've been sick, but I didn't know that was coming. And that affects your mediumship as well. Thank you, Simone. That is really lovely. And somebody else said something. Fiona, you're amazing. Thank you. You're amazing too. Mario, lovely to see you. Good morning. Well, it's evening here. So good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good night, wherever you are in the world. But it's lovely that you've joined me. May I put my name down and my husband in the healing books? Absolutely, Vanessa. I will do that as I speak. So this beautiful little book I've shown you many times is the healing book, and it is Anne Boleyn's prayer book. So I got this from Hever Castle, which is the palace where Henry VIII lived with Anne Boleyn. And it's incredible. If you get the chance to go there, go, because it is incredible. Okay, so the energies of the people around you, the energies of the place that you're doing readings, all of that could affect the work that you do as well. And Mark says we have to learn to evolve our soul. Oh, I'm not frozen. At least I don't think so. Gail uses the phrase, don't tell me how to tie my laces until you've walked in my shoes. That's very, very true. Exactly the same. Eileen Jenkins, please put me in your healing book. I'm certainly doing that right now. And Mario, yep, you can go. Mario, you're a new name to me. So let us know where you come from, because I always love to know where people come from. And Mel, you're in. Okay, Mark, you're in trouble. Make sure your things are working properly. But it's lovely to have you on here. I think we go back quite a way. Actually, hold on. Oh, Mario's from the UK. Lovely. It's a beautiful pink and grey sunset outside. It's looking absolutely gorgeous. So what part of the UK are you from, Mario? I'm actually coming to the UK very soon. So, okay, we're expected. So one of the other things that Julia Baird says in this book, and she's very ill, and she's been very ill on and off for a long time. And she said, people expect you to be a certain way. They expect you to, put on a cheery, chirpy smile. And she said, we can't always do that. Oh, Sheffield. My son went to university at Sheffield. He was the head of plant and animal sciences there. So I don't know if you know him, but there we are. Christy, most definitely, you are in the book. And Simone. Yeah, okay. Oh gosh, there's so many people who are in need of healing, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. So yeah, so you're expected to be a certain way. So if you've got people around you so which Rosemary are we talking about, Gail? Because I wanted to ask you that question last week, and I didn't get around to doing that. So let me know. So when people expect you, hello Roger, you can watch me later anytime. So when you're going through things in your life, and you have to understand, when you talk to people can't always be chirpy, cheerful and wonderful, because again, you don't know what's going on in their lives. And this is what Julia says, that she's going through a cancer battle, and she's trying really hard to keep it up there for people, but you can't always. So people have to understand that we all go through things. So, suck it up. If I don't feel like being lovely and smiley and wonderful, then there's a reason for it. It's not because I'm annoyed with you or angry with you, and this goes for everybody. It's because there's something else going on that you don't necessarily know about. Joanne, yes. What's his name? Noah. That's a lovely name. And yeah, Mario, thank you. Healing thoughts out to everybody that needs it. That's really great. Marissa, healing for Carl and Daria. Again, another nice names. Okay, got that. I look well, but people can't see the invisible illness. And that's an interesting one as well, Christy, because there are a lot of people who have, I call them hidden illnesses. And, you look okay, but your body doesn't function okay because you are not okay. So again, spare a thought for those who don't have an arm in a sling, but they're being cranky. There could be lots and lots of reasons why. So just have a thought for people around you. Okay. Gosh, I'm running out of things. Yes. So don't forget your names for healing. Oh, I wanted to say, actually, you can do this. All you have to do is to buy yourself a little notebook, which is what I started doing. Jenny Doherty, my beautiful friend, I can't wait to see you soon. But you get yourself a little notebook, and anybody that you know that needs healing, you put their names in it. And it is dedicated to being a healing book. And because you've dedicated it to that, the spirit will know. And nobody needs to justify themselves. Absolutely. You're right, Jenny. So names in the healing book. And then also remember that, Angela, that's lovely. I love watching you. Thank you. So when you're walking along the streets or wherever you are, I read people's energies, and you can see when somebody's had an argument or somebody's got that depression, because it appears like a black cloud almost over them, or there's just an energy that you can sense around them. Jenny, oh yeah, we're the three amigos, Jenny, Ian, and I. So when you see somebody that needs healing physically that you can pick up, you need to try this. I'm sure I've mentioned this before, but I was reading the lovely Betty Shine books. She is incredible. I'm going to show you one of her books. I'm sure I have shown you before, but I used to keep this lady's books by the side of my bed. And when I was in need of healing, all I used to do was to put her book under my pillow. And that just looking at her photograph was enough to give me healing. And she got me through a very, very difficult time in the 90s. And it was wonderful. But she says, when you see somebody that needs healing, you just imagine a laser beam of light. So when I read this book, I can't remember which one it was, but I read the book and thought, oh, close the book as I got into Victoria Station. And I thought, oh, I'm going to give that a go. So I closed the book and looked up, and there is a man standing against or leaning against the wall of the carriage in the train, and he had crutches and he was all plastered up. His leg was in plaster. So I thought, oh, I'm going to give this a try. So I zapped him with my laser beam of light and he fell over. I can hear you all laughing. I told that story in church yesterday, but I don't know whether it was me or not, but I ran absolutely like a bat out of hell off the train and off the platform just in case. But the healing energy that we can give out is so powerful. I think we just don't give it credit for what it is and how it can work. But remember, we're sending that energy out to the universe, and the universe and spirit are listening, and they're going, oh, okay, he needs healing energy. Let's do something. So they're with us, they're watching, they're helping us at all times. So remember that. Okay, please don't make people fall over. But this is very powerful stuff. Whether people believe in it or not, it doesn't matter. It still works. So I've given healing to so many people who are really skeptical and negative about it all, and then they say to you, oh, "I'm really feeling so much better." That is incredible. Anyway, so okay. So Mel's got an autoimmune inflammatory disease. Yeah. And so it's one of those that we don't see. And it does make you mad when you're judged. Absolutely. Yeah, Kat says her body feels like a 90-year-old. I know that. Do you know what? I was saying yesterday in church, I bent down to pick something up the other day and I could hardly stand up. And I thought, I am not liking this getting old lark. So anyway, you'll send healing, Kat, to everyone that's here who is needing. That is absolutely lovely. But, you know, even when people physically don't say, I need healing, let's send them healing anyway, and love, because everybody needs a little bit of something at some time. That's a song, isn't it? Everybody loves somebody sometime. Well, I'll make the words up as I go along. Anyway, okay, so that's really, really lovely. Okay, so what am I talking about now? So, oh yes, Michael. I don't know if he's on here tonight, but Michael usually comes on. And he sent me an email and he said it was a couple of weeks ago, but a question was raised in my mind after you answered a comment. And I made in the chat about I haven't found my place in this world yet. And you answered you will. That I had this science stuff locked down, but that I needed to embrace my spirituality or something like that. So he said, I've been racking my brain since then, and I really haven't got a clue about how to do that. How do I embrace my spirituality? What does that look like? How do I even start? And he says, sorry to be so difficult. But it's interesting because I hear this a lot, and I've got a lovely student on one of my classes, and she says, oh, she's doing, giving messages. And then she says, but I don't know how I'm doing it. I said, yeah, okay, we work with the psychic, we work with the clairs. I said, you've just said to me, they're telling me, I'm seeing, they're showing me. I said, you're using your clairs without even knowing it. So you're using your clair knowing, your clair cognizance. So spirit is working with you even when you don't know. And in Michael's case, I would say that I think a lot of people are in this situation. How do I do it? What am I supposed to be doing? What's this all about? And I think if we, I tell you what I did. I was struggling with a lot of my work and just what I was doing. And one day I just sat there and I went, okay, guys, listen, I'm going to challenge you. And whatever you want me to do, just bring it on. And I will deal with it. So that was my lovely challenge to the spirit world. That was a turning point for me because that meant that I trusted them implicitly, that I knew the knowing that they were going to work with me. Now, all of you, any of you here that are mediums, know full well before you get up on a platform, you're going to be as nervous as hell. I always am. I want to run away. I just don't want to be there doing this, And I think, so what happens with me is I actually go to do my mediumship and it's me gets out of the way and they take over. So there again is the trust. I've said to them, I need to do this. You step in, I'll go over there somewhere. And I say to my students, get on the wall. And if you place yourself, your your ego self on the wall and allow the spirit world to work with your spirit, then you will always get what you need. And again, coming back to what Michael said, it's a trust process. And we just have to know that the spirit world, once they have their hooks into you, they're not going to let you go, because they are looking for different types of people. And Michael is a scientist. So of course the spirit world want to work with somebody like him, because his brain works differently, and he's not going to go, oh yeah, spirit, they say this, they say that. He's going to be more logical about how he looks at communication with the spirit world. So it is a case of just trusting. I hope that answers your question, Michael, and I hope you watch this. And if not, I'll send you a message anyway. So you've got to let them do the work and know that they're going to do the work. And it is not about you. You just get out the way and let them do it. Okay. So, oh yes, Battling Bertha. This is a very incredible book, actually. So she is, this was in the, I think it was in the 70s that she passed. So it's between the 50s and the 70s. And all of her working with spirit was sort of by accident, but it wasn't, if you know what I mean. The spirit world knew that this was going to be an amazing connection to the spirit world. And she talks about, she used to see spirit like little people and thought that everybody saw them as little people. Somebody at the church yesterday was talking about fairies, goblins, and elementals, and it reminded me of what this beautiful lady had said. And then she realized that the little people were just showing them that themselves to her that way because they didn't want to frighten her. So yeah, Ian, don't look at the nuts and bolts, just enjoy the magic. That is such a lovely way to put it. I'm going to pinch that phrase. Thank you. So if you get a chance to read this book, then do. I'm loving the fighting spirit that is within her. I'm only part way through, but I'm going to, next week, I can't do it next week, but anyway, I'll share some more bits with you on her story as well. So this weekend I was up at Springwood Spiritualist Church, which is up in the Blue Mountains, which is wonderful. Got to keep my throat going. So I moved, when I first moved to Sydney, I moved to Springwood in the Blue Mountains, and I was there for just under a year. And the church was just around the corner, and I used to go as many times as I could. If I could go weekly, I would do. And they became my family, my spiritual family. And after all these years, because that's now, I haven't read any books by Dolores Cannon, actually. I'll have to look that one up, Mel. Thank you. It's always nice to have new names. Dolores Cannon. I've heard the name. Okay, I will have a look. So the spiritual church, they became friends. I remember having a housewarming party and they all came to my house, but I went there yesterday and the greeting that I got was just phenomenal. It really was. They treated me, I felt so special. And it was just lovely. It's only a small church, but it is so wonderful that they all believe in spirit. There were some new ones. And Diane said to me that Diane used to run the church all on her own, but now she runs it with a team of wonderful people who do a great job. And she said that people were saying before they left, we're new, but we're coming back. We've really enjoyed it. And then today, oh, go away. Sorry, another troll, people. Okay, blocked. Yeah, user was blocked. Good. And yeah, one of your favorite churches. Yeah. And it was really lovely because we laughed and there were lots of tears, but that's what a good service is about, And I don't purport to be some fantastically educated, wonderful, remember all the words sort of person, because I'm not. But I think what people like is I'm just me and I'm just a normal person. And years ago, I used to watch people on platform, and I talked about this yesterday, and they used to be like BBC presenters with their beautiful English and talk terribly frightful. And I always thought, I never want to do it like that. I want to be different. I want to be different. And Yes. Okay. Don't answer anything that Kayla Edivane has sent through because she's another troll. I've just blocked her. Why do they do it? I don't know. So beautiful church, all blended together really nicely. The messages were gorgeous, and the people who came through were lovely. Now, coming up, I keep forgetting to mention this. There is a cafe bar called Two Doors Up, which is in Fairy Meadow. And I know I'm doing a mediumship evening there. I've done two and they were a great hit, great success. And they're doing another one on the 20th of March, and they've only got 3 places. That's what I was told about 4 days ago. So anybody that's interested, and these are all on my website, by the way. I should put my website stuff up, shouldn't I? So you know who I am, where I am, and what I am. And okie dokie. And then there's a new healing fair festival. It's called the Soulful Fair, and that's going on in the northern beaches. Now, it's any money raised is going to mental health, and I think, or I know, because of who's running it, it's going to be a very successful event. So that's up at the northern beaches, and again, it's all on my website if you want to have a look at that, and that's on the 24th of March, so that's coming up soon. Oh, I went to the Rocks Market in Sydney on Saturday. I love the Rocks. It's the oldest part. I think it's the oldest part of modern Sydney. I'm going to say that. So that's where Sydney started, and the energy there. They still got some of the very, very old buildings and some of the old houses where, oh my gosh, how they did, I don't know. But there were whole families that lived in this place or these places. But you just feel that exciting buzz of energy there. It's just wonderful. So that's one of my favorite places. So we talked about this book last week as well. Ask and it is given. Okay, so Esther and Jerry Hicks, and it's through the teachings of Abraham, which is their guide. Now, I picked this up today, and I don't know, I just looked at the last page, and I went, oh, that's why I was supposed to look at the last page. It says here, one last thing. And this relates to everything that I talked about this week, last week, the week before. Be easy about all of this. You tend to take life so seriously. This is coming from the guide, remember. You tend to take life so seriously. Life is supposed to be fun, you know. As we watch you in the creation of your life, we feel only love for you and appreciation for all that you are. You are leading edge creators, sifting through the wonderful contrast of this leading edge environment and coming to new conclusions that summon the life force forward. There are not adequate words to explain the value of that which you are. It is our powerful desire that you return to your state of self-appreciation. We want you to feel love for yourself, for the people of your world, and most of all, I'll read that again. We want you to feel love for your life, for the people of your world, and most of all for yourselves. There is a great love here for you. And for now, we are complete. But incredible, lots of questions that are answered, and it's the questions that we all ask. Mark, I'll see you again soon. Seeking finding guidance, please go away. Another troll, blocked. Thank you. Laura Lou, I'm doing readings the week after next, so none tonight. Next week we've got a guest, which is exciting. I'll talk about that in a minute. I'm going to run out of time. Anyway, so let me know what you're reading. Is there anything that you are reading that you think is a good read for other people? I'm always on the lookout. Not that I haven't got enough to read, because I've got hundreds of books, but leading edge, that's life on earth. Absolutely, Luke. And you know, people don't look at that, do they? They don't realize that this is our learning ground, our teaching ground. Matt Grogan, oh, how lovely to see you. I hope you and Kirsty are well. I know you've been through the mill a bit, but really lovely to see you on here. But yes, life on Earth is leading edge, and we have got the magic at our fingertips, but sometimes we don't see that. You know, I was just talking about Matt and Kirsty going through the mill a little bit, but you know, even when you're going through all of that, you still got to look at there's magic in this world. There's better for me. I'm meant for better things than what is going. This is just a blip, and I will overcome it. So, okie dokie. Next week's guest, I'm excited because a couple of weeks ago, oh no, it's a couple of months ago, I talked to Renee Longworth, who is a Feng Shui master. And I said, I can't believe, yes, you can have healing, Laura Lou. I'll put your name in the book, most definitely. So I can't believe that, you know, this is not happening and that's not happening. And I was feeling a bit sorry for myself, exactly what I'm talking about. You know, the book tells us not to do. Anyway, I was. And I got in touch with Renee and I said, what can I do that is different? What can I do? So she said, well, send me a plan of your house. So I did. And then she puts a bagua over the top of the plan of the house and shows you where all the energies are coming from and going. And she said, oh my goodness me, you've got all these really bad energies in your kitchen in an area that, so it's activated in an area that shouldn't be activated. So I listened to what she said. I haven't put it all into practice yet because I've got some other things to do, but I've got to do it a bit at a time because it was massive. But I moved my fridge and it's now out of my kitchen. I put a screen up that blocked the energies from going out of my beautiful section in my little bagua thing. And sorry if anybody's out here is a Feng Shui person and knows what they're talking about. I don't, so I apologize. Good morning, Jan Colburn. So I put the screen up and there were other things. Oh, I moved 3 huge big pots from the front of my house. She said that they were creating mountains, which were not allowing me to see. And anybody that remembers, I had real problems with my eyes a few months ago. And it was really, I got scared because they told me that I could possibly lose my eyesight. So I moved the pots. The fridge is gone. Or not gone, but it's in a different place. And the screen is up. I've got to redirect water, but that's a big job. So I've got to redo that one or think about that one. But all of a sudden, my world has changed. I got offered new work, and that is taking off. It's about to start this month. That was a biggie. There's been letting go of people who I don't need in my life. That was a biggie. There was, I can't think of the other things, but there's just been so many that I can't remember them all. But I'm just thinking, oh, wow, this is incredible. So this lovely lady, Renee, is coming on next week. So if you've got any questions for her, please bring them and let her answer. Obviously, she won't have a plan of your house and she won't be able to do the bagua thing, but she knows her stuff. She knows. She is very, very knowledgeable in the Feng Shui, and she can talk generally, but she can also talk, you know, pinpointedly as well. So it's going to be exciting talking to her. And she's such a lovely person as well. She really is a gorgeous person. Yeah, and she does have a podcast called Spirits and Spaces. And she is funny because she does all these podcasts and she does all this weird stuff. And she was doing an astrology thing the other day, and she was, you know, being really silly, but it was just gorgeous because she's very engaging, but she knows her stuff. So she's on next week. Hello, Mandy. So what have I got coming up? You see, so this is what I said to you. I have got things coming up and these have all happened in the last month. So I was given an opportunity to work alongside a lady in various places. Mario, it was lovely to see you. And I look forward to seeing you again. Yeah, look forward to next week, Gail, which is great. So the opportunities that I've been offered are in Melbourne, Adelaide, Canberra, Brisbane, Sydney. I cannot believe it. And that's every year for until they get fed up with me. And it's really lovely because I'm going down to Melbourne and I'm doing that one event, which is at the Federation Square at the Edge, which is a big venue. And then I'm also going to Romsey, which is north of Melbourne, and I will be doing a workshop. And I know there's only 3 places left on that. And I will be doing a show, and again, limited numbers. And there are a few tickets available for that. The readings are all sold out, so that is incredible. And there are only 2 places left on the workshop. So at Federation Square there will be a show and also a show and readings, which is exciting. And then I'm going down to the Mornington Peninsula, and I will be doing a show as part of the retreat, the one-day retreat at the Mornington Peninsula. So I've got to tell you this. So I'm so busy, and I think in my head that I've done one thing, and then when it actually comes down to it, I haven't. So I've made a big boo-boo, and I realized yesterday, or was it Friday, that I am working on the 5th of May in Melbourne. And I'm flying to the UK from Sydney, 12 hours away, on the 6th. So I'm going to have to drive like a bat out of hell, partly on the 5th, and then finish it off on the 6th. That's pretty scary, but I know Shirley will look after me. That's my lovely van. She's called Shirley Valentine. And I know that it'll all be okay. Now, Jan, I saw your comment. You are gutted the Caterham was sold off before we got tickets. Well, I've got news for you, because they were so thrilled with the fact that we sold out. They gave us another date, and it's actually on the 29th. Again, all that information is on my website. So I'm super excited about that. And all the shows that I'm doing with Jenny, and there are 7 of them, they're all selling out like hotcakes. So we're going to be all over the place. But the Caterham Soper Hall, there is another date, and they are already selling tickets. So Helen Ryan, lovely to see you. Abraham Hicks turned my thinking head around. Spent hours during COVID lockdown perfecting the power of positivity. Dolores Cannon teachings are a must. Listen and learn. Thank you for that. That's really interesting to know. So sorry I have to go. That's Joanne. Thank you so much. We'll see you again. Simone, thank you, darling. You're a sweetheart. And of course, I'll see you in the UK as well, won't I? Because we're going for somebody's birthday party. Yeah, please do, Jam, because they're really cheap as well. The tickets are really cheap. So when am I coming to the Southern Highlands? Now, I think I'm going to have to wait until I get back from the UK, because on the 19th of April, I leave here for Bathurst, Canowindra, then go down to Melbourne, and then I'm going straight to the UK for 4 weeks. So that's 3 weeks in, dotting everywhere there, 4 weeks in the UK. So let me do that when I get back. And maybe, I don't know if you want to do a house party. House parties are doing really well, by the way. I'm loving them, absolutely loving them. And then when I get back, we've got Brisbane in June, and we've got workshops, readings and shows for that. Melbourne in July again, and again that will be shows and readings and workshops. Adelaide is going to be incredible, because I'm at Elizabeth Spiritualist Church. I'm at the centre of Adelaide doing a show and readings. I'm working with Ellie at her centre. Take a moment in time with Ellie, doing another workshop, a 2-day workshop actually, and a show. And then I go across to Bordertown for a couple of days of reading. So if any of those things interest you, please let me know, because they sell out quickly, because those are venues that you go to, once a year. So I'm always doing readings, and that's that's a given. Bye, Tracy. See you soon. I'll see you when I come up to Brisbane anyway. I'm really looking forward to that. And yes, house parties, always doing readings, and I'm only doing a few churches. I've decided that because of people's attitudes, which I talked about earlier on, so that even comes from the spiritual churches. You know, attitudes from people are, you don't deserve to be paid, we're going to use you and abuse you and really get blood out of your whole being. So I decided that I'm just going to work where I feel comfortable to work. So yeah, anyway, that's that. So my book is still available, and again, you can find that on my website. So oh, look at that, that's good timing. When do you do the healing? So I automatically, because I've put the names in my healing book, Laura Lou, the spirit world know that this is my healing book, and the names that are in this book will be acted upon from the spirit world. They know that this is here. So as soon as I write the names in, the spirit world are doing the healing. So know that your name has already gone in there. Yep, it's in there. And you are already getting the healing from the spirit world. So Jan says, and thank you for this, Jan. I've so much to thank you for, Val. You were my first teacher and got my interest in spiritualism going. And I will never stop learning. And you're doing a great job, because 4 years down the line, you're still doing Nash. You're still offering a lot to a lot of people. And that's important. And Robert says, I know that when we do catch up, it will be an absolutely beautiful day. Yeah, it will. Every time I catch up with you, it's always great fun. So, you know, you say go to the hot springs when you're on the peninsula. I've actually been, but I've actually got about 4 days where I'm twiddling my thumbs down there. So if anybody wants any readings while I'm down in the Mornington Peninsula, let me know, because I can do that. And yes, Mel. Yes, Mel. Yes, Mel. You're in my book. You are in the book. You are in the book. So yes, if anybody wants readings while I'm down there, please let me know. Or I can do a house party or whatever. And I love the house parties. They're really good. So I use my beautiful cards, which I've never, ever done before. And so you get a psychic read, and then it links into a mediumship read, and a loved one come through as well. And everybody in the party, minimum 10 people, everybody in the party gets a reading, which is really lovely. So and it's a very, you know, a very enjoyable event. So don't forget, next week is Renee, the Feng Shui lady. Don't forget, all my events, including all the UK events, are on my website, which is valhood.com, which is up there. And also they are on my Facebook page, which is Valhood Evidential Medium. So you can find me anyway. You just type in Valhood and you'll come up with the information. But if there is anything I can do for you, as in healing, I was going to just say, don't abuse me, because I'll be off like a shot. But it's interesting to think of that. You know, people don't realize that, you know, as a medium, we do get bad treatment. I know, Simone, you're on here, and you had a really nasty experience, which nearly stopped you from doing mediumship. And I'm glad that you got over that, because there are so many good mediums that have this issue with people. You know, they want blood out of a stone, and it's really, really, it's really unfair. So take time to think about, you know, I'm just a nurse, or I'm just a medium, but none of us are just anything. We are all special, magical beings, and we're all doing the best that we possibly can for everybody that we come in touch with, you know, whether that's family, whether that's friends, whether that's a stranger that you meet on the bus stop. You know, even if you say hello to somebody, you've just given them a part of you, you've just connected with them. And I think those connections are just as important as the ones where, you know, the person, come here and give me a great big hug. You know, it's really important. So please, and Simone, I want to say this to you as well. Just, Lorraine, you nearly missed me. Just remember as a medium, we're going to take the flak, and we have to remember we are not just a medium. We are somebody that has worked hard, trained hard to do the best that we possibly can for every person that crosses our pathway, whether they get a reading off us or not. We still try to do the best we can for those people. So none of us are just anything. Please remember that. I'm really glad that Luke, you said that. So we are all somebody special. So I'm going to leave that there. Yeah, that's really good. I'm only about 3 minutes over, which is really good. So thank you everybody for joining me. And anybody that still wants names for healing or a question, put them in the comments, and I will see them. But anybody that watches this podcast afterwards, or when I'm not live, please again let me know. If I can do anything to help you, I will. And thank you, Luke, or Grizzly. I'm going to call you Grizzly from now on. I just love that title for you. But remember, we're all special beings. We're all special people. We've all got something special to offer the world. Otherwise, actually think about this. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. That's an interesting comment, isn't it? If we didn't have something special to offer, we wouldn't be here. You're going to have to tell your kids, Luke, that they're going to have to call you Grizzly from now on instead of Daddy. Anyway, okay. So next week is Renee, the Feng Shui lady. She's absolutely gorgeous. You will love her. She'll make you laugh, but she's very, very knowledgeable. But any books that you need for me to cover, let me know why you think they're special. And yeah, can I go in the healing book? Of course, Kerry. I have got you in my healing book. You went straight in as you said that. So everybody's name is in the healing book. And it's interesting because I love the cover of this, because it's, as I said, Anne Boleyn's prayer book, and it says, "Remember me when you do pray, that hope doth lead from day to day." So every time your name goes in here, you're thought of. So that's when you do pray. So you're all done. You're all done. So love to every one of you, and spread the love and the friendship. I'm trying to think of what the best thing to say. Natalie, I can put you in. So spread the love and the warmth to as many people as you possibly can, because remember, you don't know why somebody's angry with you today. You don't know why somebody's got road rage. And they could just have found out that their mum's got diagnosed with cancer, or their child has been diagnosed with something awful, or their father's just died of a heart attack. You just do not know. Or they could have just lost their house because of, financial situations. You do not know. So we have no right. And I said this last week, I'll say it again a million times. We have no right to judge people when we don't know what's going on with them. But if people are treating you badly or incorrectly, you can just block them out of your life. And it's a hard thing to do. I found it hard, but I'm doing it. Anyway, I'm going. Love to you all. Please take care of yourselves. Remember how important you are. Okay. Night, night. And thank you for joining me. I'll see you next week. Same time, same channel. Feel like Batman. Okay. Lots of love, everybody, and thank you.